Happy One Wheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scott Mendenhall. Welcome to our YouTube channel where we talk about one wheel, we talk about the community, we talk about races, which we're finishing up one massive race, a festival put on by the Lemonade Float Co. all the way down in Austin, Texas, partnering with Dirstsurferz. Phenomenal weekend, okay? Phenomenal. I mean, it wasn't even a weekend. It was like Wednesday through Sunday, everybody. If you live under a rock, you don't know who won, we're going to try to download all of that to you in the next few moments. But I'm with my friends. You know, we got this cool little sign. It's now blinking. We can't get it to stop blinking at the moment. Kevin, help us. The remote won't work. But we got Holly, my wife, over here.
Hey, everybody. We're
doing?
back in action.
You're wearing your jersey.
Of course.
We're supporting Dirstsurferz. And then we
so
got
fun.
Lily over here wearing another Dirstsurferz.
Happy to be back, but it was a really fun weekend. It's fun to see everyone talking about their highlights.
And it's fun to know that we know the faces of these
I think
names.
I saw Sean Paul's name in there, right?
Sean Paul Soul Dagger's in there.
Yeah, it's so cool to see all of you, meet you, shake your hands, hang out with you guys and gals. What a fun weekend it was. I mean, the conditions were phenomenal. Now, the trails were less than beginner trails, just full disclosure.
The parking lot was less than beginner.
That's coming from Holly there.
It was just all dirt. It was all dirt.
It was dirt, hence Dirstsurferz being the name, but it was chunk. We got a shot of this is a mild section of trail number 2, stage number 2. This is what you were riding over.
Did you take that?
Yeah,
that looks like a stock image.
Nope, that is stage 2 right at the end where so many people lost the race, folks. But it was chunk like that. Bigger boulders at times that you had to navigate. It was wild. It was not for the faint of heart.
I don't even think that, like, some of the things, like, I didn't get out on the trails, but even in, like, the parking lot, you know, just like the craters up from rainwater or whatever, like, it was chunky.
It was chunky. We do have Zane, who is one fast girl, coming in a moment to share to us how her weekend was, her first race of the season, and to give us some tips on how to be fast, because that girl is fast. She is, I mean, she just goes, sends it. She has no concern of well-being for herself, and she is Wild Woman. And so we're excited to have her on here in a moment. She came out of the weekend at the number 1 spot, fastest of the whole weekend. So we're going to bring her on here in a moment. But you guys got to understand, it is chunky, okay? Very, very chunky. But let's just download really quick of the ladies, or not ladies. Let's talk about our Groms really quick.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get that out of the way. They podiumed.
They did awesome.
It was a lot of fun to watch them go, send it. Sean Paul was at stage 1 taking pictures and videos. He watched everyone get sent off.
That's awesome.
And then he watched all the Groms. So it was pretty cool to watch our family get sent off into nowhere, the abyss of Texas. There were lizards, snakes, and wild things, and cactuses. But here's just a shot of some podiums of the Groms really quick because they represent Scott Mendenhall and friends so well. Here's Legend got first. That's my oldest son.
Ledge.
Epic looking behind him. Not sure.
He was checking out the prizes in the back.
Yeah,
he
was
was
must
like,
have been.
hey.
He got second place. Epic, how far behind your brother were you? 1 minute?
Minute and a half.
Minute and a half.
Wow.
A minute between Legend and Epic.
What did Legend get for
Legend's overall time was 13:31.
That's good.
Now,
34.
In the pros men's division, that would have put you in what, Legend? 18th? Yeah. Out of how many?
I'd have to look it up. I do think the results are finally posted.
Holly got some money.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Holly got money. Oh, sweet.
From One Wheel Spartan.
I did still have to borrow one wheel out there.
She did borrow one wheels. We are for those that are watching that come. The super thanks help us in doing what we're doing as Scott Mendenhall and Friends podcast. We actually make no money doing this. It's just out of the passion to hang with people, meet wonderful human beings, like all of you that we met. And if I start listing, I'm going to miss some of you. So when I say, you know who we're talking about, it was an honor to hang with so many of you and just get to do life over the few days. And thank you for those that are giving resources for Holly to get a GT, maybe GTS in the quiver for herself to be able to ride and enjoy riding with kids and not have to bum rides.
It's Garrett. He changed his name.
Garrett.
Thanks, Garrett.
Thanks, Garrett. Thank you to Chameleon Rails for this sweet sign.
Yeah,
okay,
sweet.
This is amazing.
Cannot say enough about Chameleon Rails.
And he gave you something else, right?
He gave us these,
What?
which
Wow.
is
That's
rails
sick.
that say Scott Mendenhall and Friends on it.
It matches the logo perfectly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that looks
sweet.
great.
The guy's got skills. You should go give some love to Chameleon Rails.
We have gotten to meet him multiple times.
Yeah,
but this time we got to spend some time with him. It
It was
wasn't like
so cool to have
just
great
how it was set
conversations
up.
with them.
It's great.
We got to be honest again. We're not sponsored, but they give us a lot of love. They give us, one of the ways we got through the weekend was Armadillo sealant. It was awesome. Every tire got it. Lily had a flat tire previously going there from a stock tire, and it was dry as a bone on the inside. We filled it with that.
Thank you.
No problems, no flats, no issues all weekend. Thank you to the Armadillos, man. It was funny when we first met them, we thought it was just for tires, and we were way wrong. Super easy to pour into your tire with this little stem that you just cut. If you're in the need of sealant, you don't have it, or it's been over a year, you've put some in there, I suggest you do it, especially if you're going to show up to race. And then our other Groms, because the Groms brackets are all split up by ages, here are the children of the Groms, which I forget the age bracket.
So
but
cute.
Icon is in the middle. That is our oldest daughter.
She's up
Historic
first.
is our second oldest daughter. She sits into second. And then Inspire comes in at third. And that guy, he got a GT. One of my GTs I gave him. So it was just, I went down to one board. Here you go. I gave him a GT for his birthday. And
He's still figuring
he's
it
trying
out,
to figure out.
isn't
He
he?
overpowered it in that chunk a lot. And he'd spin out and fall and eat it. And
Still
so
managed to get on the podium.
he got on the podium, but I
Sweet.
do think he's going to be a contender against his sisters. If you are on the fence of racing, can I just say this before we get to Zane? Go sign up. Make a trip. It's worth it. It is so much fun to hang out with everybody and to test your abilities. You don't have to be fast. It's just getting out there and doing something fun. And so we know that there are a couple races that are between now and Dirstsurferz, but we're going to push you to Dirstsurferz. We love Dirstsurferz, and it's in Eureka Springs. Just go. That place is amazing. The trails are out of this world. The format is wonderful. You will not be disappointed. You can go to dirtsurfers.com and sign up for that, as they just wrapped up Dirstsurferz in Austin, Texas. That's wrapped up. Over. Next one is that. Let's just make sure we give some love, though, before we move on. We got a couple of shots of the next races for you. Typically, we do this at the end, but since we're already doing it, the next race for the ORL is Oak City Shred Fest, which is May 2nd through the 5th. Soon, like
Coming up.
3 weeks away.
There are so many good things that are said about Oak City.
Yeah.
And then I had a few conversations that somebody may have gotten injured or whatever, so they're scared of Oak City.
But I think anyway,
I think they're still going, but it's kind of like
That's normal.
that is.
I
normal
think
when
you can get injured anywhere, and so that shouldn't derail you or scare you. It should really just get out there, ride with inside your limit. I think when we watch Sean Paul out there, one thing we learned about him, he wears a kilt, which is sweet.
Yep, every day.
And in like different colored ones. I think my favorite, Sean, was the all black one. That was pretty sweet.
I liked your I think it was your dad's tartan plaid.
The more traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I
Would
mean,
you ever wear one?
would I wear? Yeah, for sure.
We should get him one.
I
You
couldn't
could
make
be
it.
you could be
Here-
like the one wheel
No, but here's
kilt
the issue.
master.
Kilt-
Sean
True.
Paul's look fit it. I would not. My look doesn't fit it, so I have no Scottish in me. So there's
great.
no way I would give respect to it. But Sean Paul went out in there and tested his ability. And it's like, no, not today. I'm not going to ride, which was great. He still showed up, and we got to hang out with him. So make it. We'll be at Eureka Springs Dirstsurferz, and it's going to be awesome. Here's the group shot of everyone at the Lemonade Float Fest and Dirstsurferz. I went up to the way tippy top. I don't think I was supposed to because I about fell through. Some of the decking was very sketchy, but here's a shot from that's everybody that
That's
made it in the
awesome.
picture.
And there are people sitting on that pavilion.
Yeah, they climbed up to it. I mean, we have drone footage, and we're gonna have a highlight video drop tomorrow of the weekend.
And it was a beautiful ranch that the race was out on. Like you could like roam around it. It was awesome.
It was so awesome. Lemonade Float Fest, great venue, great place to pick. Dirstsurferz, great execution of a race. Thanks for introducing this community to some of the coolest yet most difficult trails out there.
I agree.
One wheels were getting beaten up, and it was a good test of humans and machines. And so, man, so much good can be said about the weekend. One last thing, the Lemonade Float Co. was doing giveaways every night, right, Lil? They would call up Yeah, we're going to do these giveaways. And they really did it by paper, rock, scissors or Rochambeau. What's another way?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, there you go. You get it, right? And whoever was last won. And so we have 8 children, and they won a lot of things. It almost at one point we just stopped our children from playing because it was like, you've won enough.
The odds are ever in their favor.
We got Courage, who is like 6.
Yes.
6 years old.
This is great.
They were giving away a tilt wheel. If you don't know what that is, it is a very cool electric rideable. Here's a picture of a tilt wheel. There it is. It is electric. It's got a big old range on it, like 30 miles. It can go up to 30 miles an hour.
So the 2 wheels are in the front.
Right,
and
you kind of
tilt
tilt.
for your back foot.
So you ride it like a one wheel, but you tilt left and right to make it turn. And it's got a lot of torque, a lot of power in this thing. And our 6-year-old wins it. And not only was he 6, we were like, how are we going to get that? Our car was jam-packed. There's the whole family around it. And the creator, AL from Israel,
Oh, that's awesome.
created that thing. That's the creator. He's stoked on it. He came from Israel to here.
His whole family rides him. His whole, like, he's got 3 kids.
His whole family came from Israel to really
rides.
start their business in the United States. If you're interested, go look at tiltwheel.com. We ended up giving it to Kevin, the Chameleon Rails guy, and responsible for all the trophies that we possess in this household because of his ability to make wonderful things. And so thank you for taking that. Have fun with it. Be safe. Can't wait to see some kind of video from you, Kevin, riding that. Okay, that was the quick overview of the weekend. Now we're going to get to Zayne. Like I said, Zayne, this is her first time this season racing. She was going to show up and either lose it all or prove it all. Like, is she the woman that everyone is kind of nervous about in the race season? Is she going to be the person?
New.
She's brand new. She came to the scene at Windman last year in pro and did quite well. She's had a whole off season to get better and wild. Her handle for Instagram is Gnarly Barbie. And she lives up to that name. She is lightning fast. She is afraid of nothing. Maybe
And
she's afraid
so
of...
cute.
She loves pink helmets. You'll always know who she is because she's got pink somewhere flying as a blur down trails, smiling, laughing, and thinking life is the best ever. She lives in Oklahoma. She makes Oklahoma look amazing. Everyone, this is Zane, Gnarly Barbie, everybody. Zane, how you doing?
Woo!
I'm doing good. It's glad to be back on here. Thank you.
Yeah, and we have an extended time with you today, so we're excited to just sit and chat.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Okay, so I did say that you're afraid of nothing, but what is one thing you're afraid of? See, she has to think about this.
I would have to say not being able to ride my one wheel.
Aww.
That's
all
a good.
right.
That's a good
That's
answer.
good.
That's a great answer. Now, hey, I was stalking you a little bit on the IG, and it says sponsored by POC Helmets. How'd you come to get sponsored by them, or do you just love their helmets and they give you helmets? What's the deal there?
Well, it's a recent thing. Actually, shout out Doobie Stoke Shop because he signed me up for it. And without him, I wouldn't have any sponsorships at all. I wouldn't even be able to ride a one wheel, realistically. So it's really cool. I don't have a full face POC helmet yet, so I'm hoping to get one of those soon.
But it's
Yeah.
got to be pink,
But
right?
it's gonna be pink or black.
Cool.
Pink or black?
Nice,
But black's so
nice.
blah. If you get black, if you get
Or
black,
mixture,
you're gonna
yeah.
have to customize it with some kind of pink tape on it or something. I'm a POC helmet guy. I love them. I gave away mine to my oldest son, so I'm in the need of a new POC black helmet. But I'm going to customize it. I thought about buying a white one and customize it. Nonetheless, I love POC helmets, so it's cool to see that you ride POC helmets and stuff. You can see it even. You have the one that makes like, my girls know it's you based on this shot. Here, let's put the thumbnail back up. And that helmet you're wearing in the thumbnail is the helmet that they know you best by. When they saw you, go full screen on that if we can. That one to the left.
That picture's so sweet.
Yeah, you look
That
like
is
don't mess
straight
with
up
you. You've got
gnarly
fire
Barbie.
smoke going on. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
gnarly Barbie. You're wearing one wrist guard.
Yeah, why?
Oh no, you're not supposed to say that. I was hoping
Why?
nobody would notice.
What? Are you kidding me? That's one of the first things I noticed was like,
That's so
but
funny.
it adds to the gnarliness. Is like, nah, I'm gnarly. I'll put it on one hand,
But
but
we
not the
gotta
other.
know why. Why are you only wearing one?
So I was just trying to fix my hair for the picture. the wrist guard, the puck was getting in the way, so I was like, all right, I'm going to take it off for the picture.
Yeah, you really can't do much with those on, except for Onewheel.
No,
Oh, and clap.
nothing.
You
Okay,
can
clap.
hear,
Loud, yeah.
like if I left the audio in our videos, you'd hear everybody clicking the pucks in the back because they just make a certain sound.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny to hear the clapping of the pucks. And so that's the helmet that my girls know you from. They actually said when they met you this past weekend, they're like, I've never seen her without her helmet. She's so pretty. That's what that was their response in the car.
Oh my gosh. They're so pretty. So that means so much to me.
You are fun to
so
have
sweet.
around.
You're such a
Zane.
sweetheart.
One afternoon, Zane just comes over to our. We don't have a campsite because we didn't camp there. We were just hanging out there. But at one point, Zane just comes over. I'm just coming over. I needed a break from my campsite, so I'm coming over to hang with all of you. And you just hung out for a while, which was such a pleasure to just have you chill with us on Saturday, I think it was, or Friday. I don't know what day it was. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you for letting me. It was a vibe over there.
Yeah, it was much. I don't know. It was a vibe. But it was a lot of fun. Okay, people are gonna want to know. Let's get to. We have a shot of you at stage 1. Okay, I don't know if you know. We got some video footage of you here and there, but stage 1. This is you taking off. First stage of the day. We'll play here. Look how low you crouch. It's like Holly's counting you down. That's she was in charge of stage 1.
So fun.
Look at this. You're it's like she's counting you down. Look how low you get and boom. Just gone. Okay, what's going through your mind in all of that? Like you're just starting your day. What were you thinking there?
So I like to focus on my breathing, but also kind of get myself hype and get aggressive and focus on the trail. I kind of bend down because I'm more sturdy and I have a lower center of gravity, so it helps me stay on the board a lot better. I like it.
Yeah, I got a question that's more cosmetic there. Do you have one of those flower things clipped to your helmet in that shot?
Yes, it was a butterfly.
Okay, for those that are watching at home, watch again. These things are being handed out everywhere at the event, and you barely see. It looks like an antenna.
Yeah, you can see it there.
Right on the tip there. And I saw it, and I was like, that's hilarious. Or somebody that doesn't know what it is, Zane, they're going to think you got your hair or your helmet snagged in a tree.
And there's like a branch.
And it's a
coming out of it.
branch. But no,
It did look like that.
It did. Did it make it through the whole race? Did it stay on?
It did.
Wow.
It made it through the Enduro and the excursion race, which was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you come off at all during your race in those stages on Saturday? You had 6 stages to do. Did you fall at all or have to run off your board?
On Saturday, I did wipe out. On stage 5, I thought that I could
What?
keep cooking it in there. I got to the turn, and I was like, no, I should have slowed down. So
Wow.
I slowed down as hard as I could, and the board just went out from underneath me, and I just wham!
Oh, you went back.
Oh,
man.
no.
That's my biggest fear. I honestly, if somebody asks me what my biggest fear is, backside fall. Like that's what that's no good. But for those at home or those that weren't there, stage 5 was the shortest, and I mean it was probably the most mild of all of them. It was one that you full on send it. It took probably 30 seconds to do. It was just over a 200 meter, half a lap on a track. And it was full send. But here's, I think, it's those that weren't riding or didn't think about it. What made these trails, I think, Zane, so interesting is that you had all these turns with no berms. You had nothing to help you keep your speed. So it was about full send, hit the brakes, and power on the gas again because no berms to carry speeds through. And so when you're sharing what you're sharing, yeah, you got to speed check real fast when you're coming into a turn. You're going to have to slow way down. So did you find that frustrating to not have berms in the trails? Or were you just like, no, this is what we're given today, and it's the best of the best going to rise to the top?
I kind of like it because you have to be dialed in, and that means everyone else has to as well. It doesn't allow for any mistakes. So when I came off my board right there because there was no berm, I was like, dang it, but that means it's hard for everyone else too.
Yeah.
So I really safetied up on Saturday's race. I just focused on staying on my board on that part.
Okay. Because I think that's the key. Well, how?
I was gonna ask, like, does that without the berms, does that then mean like it makes it more technical in a sense? You know what I mean? Like no more, like no room for error. You can't. I'm asking because I didn't ride the trails. You know what I'm saying? Like
You're
if you have
absolutely
berms,
right.
does it help? You can. It's a little bit more forgiving.
It is. You can go a lot faster. You have something to rely on, but when you're riding something that's really fast and it has no berm, you're relying solely on your board and your body weight to be calculated enough to go around it and not wipe out, especially in those rocks.
Yeah. Those rocks were not stealing your name. Gnarly. They were
They were.
They
right.
were bad.
And I mean, here was the crazy bit as you rode. The further in, like Lily and I ended up being the last on almost every trail. By then, there were no more. What am I looking for? There was no
Like line?
line. Thank you. The lines were gone because rocks were being spit up over
Oh.
lines. You didn't see where the person before you had gone, and so it was always a different trail every time you rode it. How many hours do you think you spent practicing these trails before Saturday? Boy,
I want to say maybe 12, maybe
Wow.
a little more than that.
Yeah.
And that was just like from Wednesday through Friday, because I got there late Wednesday, but the sun was still up, so I got to ride around and scout things out a little bit.
Yep.
But I know for a fact that I have 200 more miles on my board.
Dang,
Yeah.
girl.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what? That's
wow.
interesting. I didn't look to see how many miles I
Yeah,
put
that
on.
would have been interesting.
Yeah, I should have done that as well to know, because again, their trails weren't close, right? Where you had a mile to ride to just get to stage one, which was awesome. It was cool, especially coming from Minnesota. It was cool views. It looked like we were in a
Yeah.
Western movie at times because you have cactuses and hillsides, and maybe Oklahoma's a little like that. I don't know. Red dirt for us, so it's like it was really cool. I really enjoyed that. Okay, so stage 5 seems to be what tripped you up. The others you did okay through. You didn't really have any.
No, I had clean runs except for stage 5, which set me back pretty good.
Yeah.
And what was crazy to me is in the excursion race, I had a clean run. I did get lost.
Hold on, don't get to that yet. That's Sunday. Wait, we're not done with Saturday yet. You're getting ahead. We gotta stay. Remember, for those at home, they don't know this, Zane, that there's 2 races going on, and you don't have to do both. You have the Enduro style, which is 6 individual races that you're timed on, and whoever rides those 6 with the best time get first, second, and third. And so you have a big fall on 5. Here's a shot of you coming through on 2 at the end, and you rode it real clean. This is a lot of problems for a lot of people, and you just come through. Look at you. You just still got that good squat going on, and look at you're just moving the board flawlessly through there. What's going through your mind when you come through that section? Were you aware even that I was just among the cactuses there, or were you just paying attention to all that gnarly rock and trying to maneuver your way through?
To be completely honest, I don't see or hear anything else. There could be a grizzly bear on the side of the trail, and I just don't see it. I'm completely oblivious.
Rightfully so. And that's what you
dialed
look
in.
like here. I mean, you just, like, even we watch this footage here in your zigzagging, it's impressive that you're maneuvering around there. So let's talk about your setup really quick on your board. Because some people are like, okay, is it her? Is it her board? So do you have a GT or a GTS?
I'm riding a GTS now.
Okay. You have a stock 6.5 hub on there, or are you riding a 5-inch hub?
I'm riding the 5-inch MTE hub.
Okay. And then what tire are you riding? Are you doing like a 655 or a 555?
I'm riding the Burris 555. It's a TX22. I actually cut a hole in it again this weekend.
Oh no.
So,
Which
but
you-
Armadillo's had my back.
There it is.
There we
Armadillo coming in again.
You're not the only one I heard that from.
Yeah. I mean, it
Yep.
just did. All weekend, people were like, whew, glad I had that. Okay, so you got a very nimble ride. Do you It'd be interesting. Like, I do think that trail system was built for 5-inch hubs, or I should maybe say 5-inch hubs were built for that trail system because you got over the chunk really well. However, Mercedes, she podiumed in 3rd place. She's riding an entire 100% stock board, and she maneuvered through all those things, which I think is impressive. As you know, think about it. You got low-profile tires on racing street cars, and then if you were to go off-road, you would go to a Jeep style of tire, which has got a lot more rubber on it, smaller rim, and she's got to be riding a street tire version in the trail. So that was impressive. Did you think a 5-inch tire or rim hub have had an advantage in this, or you think that didn't really matter?
100%. The 5-inch hub handles. It can ride over anything, really. I've noticed that. I've ridden both. I've ridden the stock 6.5-inch hub, and I just can't get along with it. I'm really proud of Mercedes because she is so phenomenal on that board.
Right?
You know, if I had to ride that, I couldn't say that I would do as good. But I have an advantage because my board can ride. It can go over anything.
Yeah, you do, but I also think you have an advantage, and so does anyone else that isn't on the factory team. You get to ride whatever you want, right? Like whatever. I'm sure there's going to be a race where this 6.5 is going to have an advantage. I wonder, Let It Ride, if the 6.5, because that was just sandy, was a better setup because you had a lot more tire hitting the sand. So I just think to be able to change your setup to whatever the terrain is going to be really nice, an advantage. Okay, what's your settings like? If you want to share, what are you riding in? Like, are you in flow? Are you in a different setting? And then how much of a customization are you doing on your settings? You're thinking. I like how you stroke like you have a beard. It looks real wise, real wise. You just do you not know this answer?
Sometimes I ride in flow. What is the other one called? Not
Apex?
Highline.
Yeah, there's Highline, there's
Not
Apex.
that one.
You're not going down to Bay. So you got flow.
I guess it would be. I guess I did ride in flow this weekend.
You have flow, Highline, and Apex. Those are your 3.
You're right.
So that's okay.
I like to go between Highline and flow.
Okay.
The only problem I ever have with Highline is I put myself in a tail drag, so I don't land a lot of jumps when I ride in Highline.
Yep. Okay, so when you ride,
and for me, that's a pretty big thing.
And when you're full sending it, you're in flow. Then you're saying.
Yes.
I
feel
good
like
to know.
it doesn't let me down.
Yeah.
And I have some pretty basic settings.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure maybe Austin Silva posted it, but it's just like 244 or something like that.
Yep.
I kind of said it one time and never really messed with it again. This weekend I played around with it.
I'm a bit with you, Zane. I sit there and I mess around with it once, and then it's like I can't be bothered really. The only thing I really change is the brakes. Depending on what terrain I'm on, I make them less sensitive because I find if I hit the brakes too hard, then I tail drag. So I just like them to be a little less. And so I make them -2 typically, where I know a lot of people like them negative or +2. I don't like that. I don't like my brakes being that hard because that's the worst.
I agree.
To tail drag. Okay, so how did you get so fast? I mean, I think that's what I've heard so many people saying over the weekend. How did Zane get so fast? You're 18 years old. You've only been riding for a year. How are you so fast?
I think I put in a lot of practice. We have trails in our backyard that they've gotten really nice within the past 6 months. We've put in a lot of effort, and I feel like I can understand the terrain more because I've worked on trails. So it's given me an advantage.
Yeah.
You mean like help, like smooth them out, build them, like shape them, things like that.
Yes, but now I know how to read the trail when I'm riding it. I know which way is the path of least resistance,
All
which
right.
should be kind of obvious, but I guess as a girl, I didn't automatically read terrain. I would pick the worst line possible, and sometimes I still do, but I feel like it's about being able to make it work and ride through it.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you say maybe because I'm a girl. I think that anybody that is out or have never been on trails just don't understand it. I think it's a learned skill, so that's not reserved for a girl or a boy. It's just you just never thought about it, and so you got to think about it.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's one. Like I think that. But here's the deal. You speak of so Saturday. Let's wrap up the Saturday event. 6 races. You finish in second place, correct?
Yes, sir.
So Rachel Payne is number 1.
Yes, and I'm so glad.
She's like Miss Queen Dirstsurferz.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she just doesn't lose Dirstsurferz, which is crazy. But so she wins overall. Then you get second, and then Mercedes is the last. Okay, so she gets third place. What was your overall time of 6 stages? Do you remember?
27 minutes.
No, that doesn't sound right.
That does not sound right.
No way.
No.
That's got to
no.
be Sunday. Let's pull up.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Okay, so it was actually like 16:57. I want to say
16:57. That still seems, but I don't know.
I was 32 seconds behind Rachel Payne, so maybe it was 13 or 12.
Holly's
I'm trying to.
She's trying to find it to give us precise answers because we know
Thank
that.
you.
Yes. We'll work on that. Okay, we have pictures of you and Lil at the award ceremony of day number 1 of the racing events, where she podiums, which we need to get Lily's thought here. This is you and Lil. Have we decided which one of you is taller than each other? How tall are you? Zane,
I'm
how tall?
about 5 foot 1 maybe.
5'1", and Lily's 5'1" or 5'2". Depends what day you get her on. Okay, so you got that. So you guys are almost the same. Okay, and then I think we got a close-up of you two holding your trophies, which you both are holding second place trophies there. Look at that. 2 ladies winning second. Lily's trying to help with technology. I'm not sure what's going on. But Lil, what's your thoughts on you getting to finish second in your event? As you get I'm surprised you didn't bring your hardware in today.
Oh, I think it's inside. It was in my suitcase. I don't know. If it's Jeff, if it's you behind the float life, I'm doing the best I can. So she's all the way up. So you're just gonna have to.
Oh.
I also put on my headphones to test it for you.
Can we not hear her?
No,
very
she's
well?
fine. She's a little echoey, but I think that has to do with how her phone is positioned too.
Oh,
it's all good. Zane, I loved our photos. It was so much fun.
Me too.
We got second place together, but in different divisions, obviously.
yeah. Well, we loved seeing that. And again, for the echo side of things, for those that were like, hey, today we were having some technical difficulties in Oklahoma. And so that's why we have what we have. So, right, Zane, we got to sort it out. Beforehand, we couldn't keep you on. So I would say we're winning.
Oh my gosh. It was a wreck.
It was a wreck. It wasn't that bad. But we got it solved. Sorry if there is an echo. Sometimes technology doesn't play right with us. Okay, so we wrap up Saturday. Did we find the time, Hal?
I'm trying.
Everyone's
Okay, we got a couple
chat.
people
what
in
are they
here.
saying?
Here's the Enduro time.
13:57.91.
That's what she got.
Yes.
Okay, Legend, what was your time? 13:34. Dang, you both are
That's
cooking.
awesome.
You guys are cooking. Okay, so you finished second. Now, here's where I'm trying to get to is that you speak of, trails are the reason I'm fast. You go to the next day, which is a 7.5 mile race. One huge race throughout the cactuses and hills I don't even know. There's no practicing of this because Nick does it after the race is done the night before. He just creates this race, and then you just kind of follow around, which you already alluded to. You get lost in this race. So how many ladies are racing this? Because not everybody that raced the day before races this. So how many were you racing against in your division?
There was 4.
4. And who are the other 3 that are racing with you? Do you remember?
K-Love, Janet Thorne, and Nikki Martin.
Okay.
Nice.
In the whole shot you guys get, I don't know if there was really a whole shot, but you guys zoom in. You guys are flying. But you speak of you got lost. You went left instead of right or something. How did you get lost in this? Did you just miss it?
The tape had been ripped down.
Oh.
And so, yeah, we ended up going all the way down to 6. Nikki Martin was right with me the entire time. We couldn't find the other girls, so we just rode all the way down to stage 6. We realized that we had went the right, and we turned around, and we were looking around at 4, and we were like, where do we go? And then we finally realized we thought we were supposed to go all the way up 4. So we rode up that really, really chunky, horrible trail. We were so mad when we got to the top of it, and then we were like, okay, I don't know where to go now, so let's just have fun. Let's just ride. Let's just race each other and have fun.
Wait, hold on.
Finally, Nikki...
So you're saying let's just have fun. Does this mean you're like pretty much going, there's no chance I'm winning this? It's kind of a surrender, full surrender.
Full surrender. We thought we lost. We couldn't find out where to go, so we were like, okay, let's just have fun.
We're just
Let's
gonna
hang out
cruise.
and ride the trails.
So I was sorry.
Finally.
So hold on, I missed some of that. Casey from Lloyd's Board Shop was texting me, and I was reading it really quick. He's inviting people to his shop. I don't know if that's a public thing, but if it is, cool.
It is now.
It is now. Look, Casey, text me back if you want me to say something on here to invite people. If not, I won't give any deets. Okay, so how many of you got lost? It was you and one other?
Nikki.
I think we all ended up getting lost because our times were way, way longer than the men's.
Okay.
So
That's so funny.
That's unfortunate.
I don't know how,
Go ahead.
but K-Love and Janet Thorne were in front of me and Nikki about 120 yards maybe.
Wow.
And
so when you
we
came
caught up
back,
to
this
them.
is hold on. This is when you got back on track, right? You realized they're 120
Yes.
yards, a football and a half field, or a football field and a half away. You're realizing, oh, we're on track. Now, this is where I'm good at trails situation, but now you're 120 yards away from somebody. You're gonna have to catch them. You're gonna have to give it all you got, right?
Yes.
Well, when did it
And-
switch? When did you switch from like, oh, let's just ride to,
Yeah, like,
oh,
did you-
they're right there, let's get them?
You saw people, right?
We thought we saw some men up ahead of the trail, and I heard Nikki yell, "That's K. That's K-Love." And so I got the bright idea to yell, "I'm coming for you, K," which was a horrible idea. I could have wiped out.
Yeah.
But somehow I ended up getting close to her, and me and Nikki, we closed the gap that should never have been closed. It was huge, and our boards were buzzing, and we're on GTS, so that means we were flying, and
Yeah.
K-Love was flying, Janet Thorne was flying. It was insane.
When you watch video footage of it, it does seem chaotic at the end there. You could, again, not until you told me the other day that you got lost. You just watch and it's like, oh my gosh, these people are freaking out. This is intense.
Yeah.
And you guys were so close. And so at some point you got passed though. It must have been Nikki came and passed you slightly and then you passed her back up. So you guys are in haptic buzz. You're like 20, 25, 26 miles an hour, 27, 28 miles an hour maybe on these fire roads that are not for the faint of heart. It's impressive to see all the footage. And so you catch everybody and then you beat them, right?
Somehow I managed to get in front of them. Just barely.
Sweetest.
I only won by 1 second. Exactly 1 second.
I was going to say the times for first through fourth, you were 24-13. K-Love was 24-14. Janet came in as 24-24, and Nikki 24-31.
Oh my gosh.
It was all like so
Where's
close.
the footage of all of
so
this that you're
close.
speaking?
Well, unfortunately, we weren't there on Sunday to capture it. We were
Yeah.
kind of the video
So
people.
it's online. It's on social media.
Anybody
I've just
that
seen
was
clips.
social media. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
just seen some clips as well. Nothing.
No, right. No, it's hard to find when. So that's unfortunate to not see the finish of that. Sounds amazing, and then to know that you got lost. And again, we were there, so we know what that terrain was like. That's impressive to hold the speed you're holding on any of those trails or those fire roads. They were not groomed fire roads at all. They were rutted from rain. I mean, there was plenty of times where I'm looking back, talking to somebody, and then you get wobbly because you had no idea you're going to fall into this rut. It was wild. Okay, so you win that, which then you also, what was the third award you get of the weekend then? Because you finished second in the overall of the Enduro race, then you win this in the what do they call the Sunday? The excursion race. So then what reward did you win after that?
I ended up getting the overall trophy because I had placed both days. But since we didn't get to run the pro stage in the Enduro race, I got to do it as an underground race, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
So,
But hold on, we're going to get to that. And you're always jumping ahead. So when you say you finish overall, but you got a trophy for the overall fastest time of those two races, correct?
yes, and it was beautiful.
And did you win money?
I did. I won about $350.
That might get you home. You get a little
It
bit.
did. It paid for my entry fees.
Yeah, that's great. See,
That's
That's
awesome.
phenomenal.
Love that.
So you got to hold that all three trophies, a second, a first, and overall, which is so cool. And then you're speaking of stage 7, the night before the race is turned into a Hermes race, which for those at home that don't know what Hermes is, it is an app-based race that you go out there and you just keep racing it until cutoff time of 2 o'clock on Sunday. Was that right? You had till 2 o'clock to post your fastest time, right? And so it was funny.
Sir.
I was sitting there talking with Jeff at one point, and Jeff's just sharing it. He's like, "Uh-oh, somebody just beat me by 2 seconds. I'll be right back." And he goes out. He just was watching it, and he would go back out and ride again and come back, and he'd sit around, and he's like, "Oh, somebody just beat me." And so you were just speaking of it. You got a chance to do that. How would you do in the underground?
That was personally my favorite trail, and I feel like I did the very best on that one. It was technical, but you could really get into a good flowy groove. It was the most fun trail out there, in my opinion. There were no berms, which is kind of what we talked about earlier. It made it harder, but there were some fast spots that you could just get cooking through there, like 30 miles an hour almost. So it was incredible.
Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so I heard from a handful of people loved it. There were also some people that didn't love it because it was a ride out there, I guess, and a bunch of different people just sharing their thoughts.
A lot of people said it was really long.
Yeah, which that's the point of it.
To get there. Or the trail.
To get there and the trail.
Both.
Oh, wow.
I mean, by the time you came back, you had to charge, right? You didn't have much battery left, correct? On a GTS.
Yes, I made sure that we went out there on a full charge just in case. Because we do push the board past their limits sometimes. We really hammer on them and give them things that we don't know if they can take or not. So it's cool to see. It really is.
Right. I think it's really phenomenal to watch those things out there. It's mind-blowing, especially at any level you ride a one-wheel, to watch pros do what they do. Like Lily and I are riding through there, and we're just going, how do they do this? Like, to know that there was a section, I think it's stage 6, big old slab of rock, but it's off camber. Do you remember that? Like, and you have to come through it. And if you don't come with it some speed, you're going to go down the hill. And I was just like, how are they going to do this at these speeds? It was just wild to watch. So mad respects to all the pros that ride these trails the way you guys do. This is amazing. It's impressive. And so what place did you finish in Hermes race, the underground race?
I actually won it.
Hey!
A few seconds, maybe 40-something seconds.
Wait, that's not a few seconds.
That's
a
few seconds
it's
like 3.
Yeah. A few seconds.
You're almost a minute ahead.
Yeah, a minute.
Well done.
On a one wheel.
Thank
well
you.
done.
It was a hard trail, but I feel like it was really rewarding.
Yeah.
Wait, you beat the guys?
Not all of them, but I did rank about 17 or something like that. It was the last time I looked.
Nice.
Yeah, you could pull it up on
So
the
you won
Hermes
the
app.
ladies.
She won the ladies, which there was money on the line for that as well, right? That's what happened to that stage then.
That's
it no longer
awesome.
was a pro stage, you become a Hermes stage, and then there was $500. Am I right? Do I remember that right? $500 was on the line?
250.
Yeah.
Oh, they split it.
250 for the
Yeah.
men,
Okay.
250 for the women.
There you
That's
go.
awesome.
That's
That's
Thank
sweet.
you.
You did well. You racked it up, didn't you?
Thank you. I was really, really proud. I had no idea where I was going to stack up this weekend. There's some really tough professional riders, so I was
Oh, yeah.
nervous.
Yeah, the women's. I mean, this is the largest women's bracket that I had seen up to this point at a race.
It was fierce. It was a lot. I know you guys had all also worked so hard. Friday, everybody was out there riding so hard to train and just exhausted from just that. It was fierce. You guys did amazing.
So, what's the next race for you? As we've already said, Oak City Shred Fest is happening in May, and then you have Dirstsurferz. Are you going to make it to either one of those?
I will for sure be at Dirstsurferz. I would
Okay.
like to go to Oak City Shred Fest. I don't know if I'll make it out there since they're that close, but Dirstsurferz is on my list.
Okay,
Those are my favorite trails.
You've been there then? You've raced in Eureka Springs? Oh.
I've never raced there, but I have gotten a lot of practice in at Eureka Springs. That's one of my favorite places to ride.
Yeah, the trails are awesome there.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
stoked about it. We're stoked about it. We'll be there. I'm with you. I'd love to go to Oak City Shred Fest. And same with Seek and Shred. I want to get but
they're all on the list.
You and us are kind of smack dab in the middle of the United States, right? And so to get to the coast,
It takes a lot.
it's a journey.
It is a journey.
But you are going to need to either win Dirstsurferz in Eureka Springs, right? Or you're going to have to go to one of these races on the coast. Am I right on that?
Yes, I plan on going to Wheel Scorcher also.
Okay.
If I could stamp my ticket at Dirstsurferz, that would be really great. But I plan on going to Wheel Scorcher just to make sure I can go to race for the rail.
Yeah.
That's a dream for me.
Boy,
Nice.
you go and if you did this, if you went to Dirstsurferz in Eureka Springs and were to kick the queen of Dirtsurfers off of her throne, that would be wild.
It's a pretty big feat.
That's
if
a
she
pretty
done
big.
3
That's
years
a
in a
tall
row.
order.
3 years in a row, I think she's won Dirtsurfers.
Nick might
And-
confirm for us.
I ride with Rachel Payne, and it is a battle.
She is incredible. She's probably one of the smoothest riders.
I
Everybody
agree.
did amazing, but being up at stage 1 to watch the takeoffs, she is dialed, and it will be that's a tall order to get her at Dirtsurfers.
Rachel
Yes,
Rachel
especially-
Payne. Rachel Payne is the assassin of the females, and Austin Silva is the assassin of the males. Meaning they just are silent.
They're so
You don't hear them make a sound at all. There's other riders talking to themselves the whole way through. Other riders have music cranking and all these things. But those two are just quiet. You have no idea they're coming up on you. And so that would be intriguing. This is
Not impossible.
not
it's not.
impossible.
Oh, no, it's not. It's crazy what happens to people when they feel pressure. You either rise to the occasion, or you get sent off your one wheel. And so it's going to be a great battle at Dirstsurferz.
You got this, Zane.
I can't pick. There's no
Thank
picking
you.
between the two of you.
I couldn't pick on this one. It's so
It's crazy.
And I I can't either, because that's one of my closest friends. She lives close to me. She's a blast to ride with, and she's very consistent on the board. She is so talented. I'm
Yeah.
personally not consistent.
How so? Why do you say that? Meaning some days you just don't got it, or what?
Well, it's not that. It's that I'll take some risks,
Yes,
which I know I shouldn't do, and then I'll come off my board. Whereas Rachel Payne, she just picks her line and sticks to it, and she demolishes it. She just eats it up. It's amazing.
She's so good at being able to pick like the smoothest, fastest line wherever. But we've seen, your footage. You see a big boulder, and there's something inside of you that says, "I gotta go off that."
Yeah, she's a bit
right.
less like that.
You just gotta do it. So
Yeah, I think at Dirstsurferz in Eureka Springs, I don't know the course. I'm not privy to that information from Nick. But based on my previous experience with it, there's pro lines that you have to take on trails, which involve drops. This can be your forte. I do think.
There's a lot of mandatory.
Yeah, a lot of mandatory obstacles you have to hit, right? I think you said it well. I think at your age, you're willing to take a lot of risks that maybe Rachel or Mercedes won't take at their age because they're calculating it. It'll either going to pay off really well for you or not. But it's always worth the shot because it pays off, man. That's phenomenal. We need to get you hooked up with a 360 camera, though.
yeah, we want to see all the way.
I would love that. That's what I've been saving up some money for. There's some footage that I feel like I need to get with that thing.
Okay. Well, hey, we will send you a GoPro 360. How's that sound?
Wow, look at her face.
We have it sitting here.
She's not frozen.
Yeah. We'll get after this. We'll get your mailing address. We'll send you that with a chesty so that you can mount it to you. You'll have to figure out how to, if you want it on top of your head or whatever, but it'll allow you to be able to film it. And so it's a used one, but it's
works.
a GoPro. It's phenomenal.
Zane, your reaction is the best.
So
Thank you so much.
yeah. Well, you just told us what you needed, and we have one. So why would we not just go? Here we go. It'd be our privilege to do that, and so yeah,
We support you, Zane.
We do.
we're fans.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. Well,
I have one quick question for
yeah,
you
ladies.
I know we're
I've
kind
been
of.
asking all the questions here, so
I know you guys get chatting, and then so we know obviously like the excursion, you're willing to go after it, go hard, and come for the comeback. The enduro you were awesome on. Dirstsurferz in Eureka Springs is another enduro style. You haven't been on a head-to-head, so some of these other, what do you think is going to be the difference? Like if you get to Oak City, what do you think is going to be the difference on some of these races that'll be head-to-head? Because that's Race for the Rails is head-to-head. So how do you prepare?
You're right. That's a really tough question. I'm really trying to make sure that I'm in good shape mentally as well as physically. We have some trails around Tishomingo that we can practice on. They're wide enough, and we really give it our all out here. And so I plan on doing the same thing with the trails or with the races. I really the adrenaline. I like the rush. That crazy that you said I had in my eye. I saw that. And you're right. I feel like the more that's going on, the louder the setting is, the crazier we're acting, the better I'll do. You know, it drives me. It lights a fire up in me, and I just love it. I eat it up.
Awesome. I love it. I'm excited
gobbles it
to
up
see
like
that.
she does trails. She's saying there. Lou, you got
Yeah.
any questions for your new best friend?
Yes, I was wondering when you guys were talking about the 5-inch hub that you're riding, at what point will you switch that to a 6.5 to practice for Race for the Rail? Even will you even race on one of those?
Yes. I'll sell my GT with the 5-inch hub, and thankfully my boyfriend he helps me, so we'll probably buy one GTS and keep it stock and practice with that, because I love the way that my board is set up right now, and I don't want to change that because it is just dialed and perfect for me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to change that.
Smart.
Yeah.
So
I
when
know
will you? When
When she makes
ideally,
it.
ideally, will you do that after you punch your ticket and then just practice, or would you
I think
prefer to race with a 6.5 inch?
That's a really tough question. I wouldn't prefer to race with the 6.5 because of how just chunky it feels when you're riding over something hard. And I know that I'll be riding trails that are pretty hard, like at Dirstsurferz. It's not easy, so the 5-inch hub definitely saves me out there. And I'm not sure about Wheel Scorcher. I've never been that far. But I would imagine that the 5-inch hub will do better out there. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just don't like the 6.5 because it's so big.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a little risky to not race what you're used to until you get.
Well, I think
your
you got to
spot.
qualify, right? You qualify,
and then practice until the event.
And
Yes,
again,
and
I'm a one-wheel guy. Everybody knows this. I've raised my hand. I'm Future Motion. But those MTEs and billets, man, they just changed the game, I think, for the better. I don't mind the 6.5, but if you're going, you can only have one, Scott. I'm going to 5 because of what it offers you. It just offers something that is really nice. I think the nimble, it's nimble. It is got that suspension built in it, right, Zane? All that extra rubber in there just gives you that extra.
yes.
If you want to be able to send it and bonk a lot, you just pump up the tire with more air in it, more PSI, and you can bonk off everything. Or you lower the PSI and you just roll over everything. And so you're a lot more stable. And so you also don't need rim savers. It's just a lot of things. But it's a $500, $600 purchase right from the get-go you buy a one wheel and then you have to do it. So tough decisions for everybody to make in those things. For you as a pro, when do you make the switch? And I think most of those that podiumed, I don't know the men side. I'm not familiar with the two that won from Texas, so I don't know their board setups. But I know out of the women's side, 2 of you are riding the MTEs. And
Yes.
then, right? And then the stock 6.5 GT performance tire from Onewheel. So there's something to be said by that. And so I don't know if anyone can confirm with us of what the men were riding. I believe that Jafari got 3rd, and I think he's riding a 5-inch. So there you go. That's 3 5-inches out there. And it felt like, Zane, I don't know if you felt like this, but I felt like it was going to come down to a battle of the 5-inch hub and a 6.5. Because I really thought that was the race. I don't know, because Vest didn't. The funny thing is like, how many were any of the ladies you were lining up against on Sunday? Were they riding Vests?
No, I believe we were all on Future Motion boards.
Okay. And then I wonder what's the verdict for the men, because it was interesting. Jafari wins overall, fastest time, and he's on a one-wheel Future Motion board, and all the Veskies nowhere to be found. So it's just interesting, right? Like all of a sudden, you got to pay attention to those storylines. I did like how Nick did all of the award ceremony and he was breaking down Vests and Future Motion times and things of that nature, which was fun to just see in those.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, everybody, we need to see that because that's the.
I think the
that's
next
talk.
thing.
Who's going to do what?
I think the next race it needs to. And maybe we can help Nick get the information. But like, this is what they're riding. What's their setup? Are they a 5-inch hub? Are they Vesk? So people get to know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be really exciting to see. Zane, anything else you want to talk about from the past weekend? Did you do any of the Lemonade Float Fest side of things? Did you do the tug of war on one wheels? Did you do the yoga? Did you do the giveaways? Any of those things? Or were you just strictly there to win the hardware?
I should have played some games, but I was so dialed in on the trails.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I really find peace and I have the most fun, just in the woods with my friends, just going fast. So that's that's what I tried to make sure I was doing, was just riding the trails out there.
Yeah, you did well. And how did your boyfriend do? I almost Doobie, right, is his nickname.
Jacob is his
Yes.
Jacob, thank you. I didn't want to. Somebody might think I'm being disrespectful by kind of calling your boyfriend Doobie. So I just want to make sure everyone knows.
Jacob.
Jacob, how'd he do?
I think he did really well. The men's division is just so
hard.
you know. It's packed.
Yeah, and did he
I'm
ride
really
pro?
proud of him. Yes.
Okay, all right then. It was cool to be able to meet him again, and we'll be stoked to hang out with you guys at Eureka Springs. This is going to be a fun, fierce battle coming into there. It'll be interesting to see what happens at Oak City Shred Fest, because I think that can change some people's placements and how many points they need and things. So it'll be interesting to have a race in between the next Dirstsurferz. So Zane, thank you so much for your time today. We'll get you one of a camera. We filmed a bunch of foxtail races and stuff on them, and so we'll make sure we got a memory card in there for you and get you to be able to film your things so you don't miss the shots.
One more thing, and we can wrap up. I was just looking at the Onewheel Racing League, and we've got you in 4th place at the moment after this race with your points and stuff. So you're tied with Rachel. Or no, I'm sorry. You're tied with Raquel.
Ooh.
So pretty sweet.
That's incredible to me. This whole thing is a dream. Cause
that's awesome.
I could potentially go to Race for the Rail. I'm not concerned about being on the podium, but I do want to go be out there and just experience that, because I'm a small town Oklahoma girl. I haven't been out of this little bubble too much, and I want to expand my knowledge, especially on the trail part of it.
I feel like you were about to sing some kind of country song. I'm a small town girl.
Well,
I think that's how.
I think you're gonna be there, Zane.
I
I'll
can
say
say
it right now. I think you're gonna be there this year.
Yeah, and I think that you're a small town girl that's a professional one-wheeler. So
Woo!
well done, girl. Well done.
That's awesome.
All right, hey,
Thank
hold on.
you guys for believing in me.
Let's give you some mental coaching here. Not that you're asking for it, but I'll just help you a little bit in this. You need to write down, not just I want to show up. Like, you need to go, I want to win Race for the Rail. Like, because I know you're like, oh, cool if I don't. But no, make that the target. Your why this year is to win Race for the Rail. That's the bullseye. And then all your other decisions you make go towards, if it doesn't help you win Race for the Rail, well, right now I'm not doing that. No, I'm not going to put that on my board because that doesn't help me get to Race to the Rail. So make that, if that's really what you really, really want, no, let's go for it, right? No, like I know it's kind of you to go, oh, it's cool to just show up. No, come on. Get there and perform your best. I like to watch people do their best all the time. And so let's see what you're capable of year one. Let's go find out.
Thank you. I would really like to show you.
That's right. There we go. I see it in your face right there. You're like, all right, that's a little racer coming out.
Those crazy eyes. Here comes those crazy eyes.
Yeah, that's right, Zane. Yeah. If I didn't have my sunglasses on, people would know I was just scared right there. And so it was a pleasure to be able to have an entire afternoon with you, Zane. Thank you for making time with us. We are exciting. It's exciting to watch the race unfold this year. Yep, women's is stacked, and so if you get it, you're gonna have earned it. And so let's go earn it. Okay,
it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Sir.
Big deal. Woo! Ha! This is gonna be a good one to watch.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, Zane, we'll let you go, and we'll catch up with you before Dirstsurferz again to see how you're doing. So stay safe, get the miles in, and can't wait to see what you post next on the Instagram.
Thank you. We're building a huge jump right now, so
yeah,
awesome.
It's going to be crazy.
I mean, we need to come down there and probably not ride any of them, but just film other people riding them.
You would love it. We actually had the Silvas over here yesterday, which was an honor because they said that they loved our backyard trails.
Nice.
That's
That's
great.
awesome. I love that.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
They're making their way. I think the Silvers are making their way like over
trucking.
to like New Jersey or something like that. Well, that's a haul.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Cool. Can't wait to see the jump.
Yep, can't wait.
Thank you.
When you post it, we'll play it maybe next week or the week after on our next podcast. All right, Zane, we've said bye a dozen times, so this one's for real. Have a good
Bye,
one.
Zane.
Oh,
Thank you, Zane. I think our technology people just clicked it off. She was in mid-sentence of saying goodbye. She is a
Says bye. She's
great
so sweet.
human. Her boyfriend is another great human. It's such an honor and privilege to hang out with them over the weekend. Cool that the Silvas went there. I just can't say enough about the Silvas and how awesome they are. We know it firsthand when they came here the first time. What an honor it was to have them on our property and for them to ride our trails. So make sure you go give Zane a follow on Instagram. Gnarly Barbie 777 is the name of her Instagram handle. If you haven't signed up for Dirstsurferz and you've been on the fence, you're just not going to be disappointed. Go get signed up for that race. Come watch this live. If you that's the beauty of being there. Like, you get to ride your one wheel and just be on the premises of watching some of these fierce battles going down. Don't know if Raquel's going to be out there, but how much fun would that be if that storyline came true out there to watch two number 4s battling out who's going to be above who, and she's a fierce competitor.
Yeah.
That women's division.
They are showing up this year. Like, I know of several of them that are going to be at Dirstsurferz. Like, this year, there's no sitting back. You gotta be at events, and you gotta get the points, or you gotta take it home with the win. So
that is so true.
It's pretty wild.
It's gonna be fun to watch, and we'll try to keep you up to speed what's happening here. Tomorrow we're gonna drop a review of the weekend, the highlights of it from Lemonade Float Fest side of things. They did such a great job of building an event for everybody. The families, they had painting, t-shirt, dying. It was well done. There was so much going on that I couldn't film it all because I'd be miles away from when they were doing event.
It was so fun. And so if you weren't actually racing on the trails, there was always something happening. Always the pros around to hang out with and do, if they weren't out training or whatever. I mean, from tie-dyeing shirts to painting for the kids to
the trick clinic.
The what?
The trick
that was so
cool.
fun. And then they did yard games on one wheels. It was so fun.
Yeah.
So many things to do.
And then they did have a trick competition on Sunday. We were not there for that, but I believe Allie won.
I think she got overall.
Overall, which is so cool.
Yeah.
That trophy for them to win was so cool looking. I can't do tricks at all. So I was thinking about stealing it because I was like, that was sick. But I didn't. I refrained. I had self-control. But a couple other events we want to make sure you have on your radar. If you are in Minnesota, Casey from Lloyd's Board Shop did say it's open to everyone. I do not have his address. Reach out to Casey at lloydsboardshop.com to get details. But it is Sunday 10 a.m. to 3 a.m. in open house. He is our local one-wheel fixer. And so come rub shoulders with me. He's having his entire race team there. I don't know if Sarah's going to be there when he says that or whatnot, but a lot of his racers are going to be there
Andrew
that
Coleman,
he sponsors. They're going to be there for this fun games and shenanigans. It's 10 to 3 o'clock on Sunday. Don't miss it. It'll be good to rub shoulders with him. He will also be at the first Scot Mendenhall and Friends group ride, which we are doing, which is May 5th.
Yep,
is that
May
correct?
5th. Yep.
May 5th. Come hang out with us. It'll start at 12 o'clock. However,
it's 12:30 on It's been
Lord.
posted to the One Wheel Minnesota Facebook pages too.
We'll have to. Recently, we need to repost. Last week. Okay. But if you'd like to come early and hang out with us, you can come into the movie theater at 10 o'clock and hang out with us. That would be sweet if you want to do that. If you're local, it gives you, especially those that drove 4 hours last year, come into the movie theater at 10 o'clock, hang out with us, and then we will have a cookout. And then we'll ride. Lloyd's Board Shop will be there. And then we have a Paul Bunyan race, Grom group gathering. Paul Bunyan's one-wheel Grom camp. It is up in Fort Ripley, Minnesota. That is June 14th through the 16th. If you want more information of that, you can look up Fort Ripley Floaters on Facebook or Instagram. They are constantly building trails and features like mad. It's crazy how much they are doing. If we all had their abilities in machines, we'd probably do the same. They are doing a great job. And then you have, I think, Seek and Shred is the next one after Dirstsurferz in Eureka Springs. Okay, this we need to update. Obviously, we got this back in February, but you can already start to sign up. It's June 13th through the 17th. That's going to be a fun one. It's out in California, Northern California. It's a festival again with one-wheel racing in it. And so there are some of those upcoming events you need to be made known to you. And there's plenty more events happening way in the fall. One of our favorites is the Windman Race, which is in Minnesota. I believe that's in September. You have Wheel Scorchers, which is happening. That is in North Carolina. The dates of that is...
It's on July 6th.
There you go. So there you go, giving you up to speed what we know, and as we know, you'll get to know. If you're hanging around, you haven't subscribed, seriously.
You're going to want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to miss the content. We have Sarah Meeker coming on soon.
Sarah.
She is so much fun to talk with.
I think she'll have a lot to say.
She's going to have a lot to say. It's going to be a good one. And
she loves one-wheeling, and she loves this women's group one-wheeling. Like, she is very passionate to...
Every time I talk to Sarah Meeker, I'm smiling.
Of course.
I just am. She is, you're just around her, and you just, she's very funny, very relatable, and so enjoy. You can't say enough kindness about her.
She's great. She brings the fun, she brings energy, and
yeah,
she's probably the loudest cheerleader out there.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Yeah, every time somebody got a trophy the other day, all you hear is like, woo!
On everybody's video,
Yeah.
it's Sarah Meeker.
I'm like,
it's
did
great.
she actually know them, or is she just excited they're winning? So she's always what we refer to her in any race, a dark horse, of like not many people talk about her, but she's always lurking. And
she is
has
sitting
a
in the
good
number
day.
2 spot right now in the overall result.
That's my point, and no one talks about it. You know, who's number one?
What dark horses
Mercedes.
are.
Mercedes. Yeah, dark horses are always lurking and can pounce at any point. And so we're going to have her on. We got a lot of great people coming on over the next few weeks as we build momentum up to, in my opinion, one of the best premier races One Wheel has out there. It is a racer's race. It is just racing. A lot of events, like venues happening there. You can camp and bring RVs. It's Dirstsurferz Eureka Springs. I can't say enough about it. So
we were just saying this in the chat, and Nick was mentioning it. Like, it is for everyone, for every type, every level of rider. If you want to come and support, there's always things that are, you can be watching and doing and all of this. Like, it is for everyone. Be there. This was our very first big event that we went to, and it's so great. So everybody needs to plan to be there.
And again, we can't film everything when we're out these. Like last year at Dirstsurferz, I don't know if Lil, you were with me, or you, Holly, were, but the oldest person I've ever seen on a one wheel was 82 years old, and he was out there.
Was it Joe?
He had.
I don't remember his name.
He had a blue pool floaty,
like a brace,
like a brace, but it was like a diaper because he knew if he fell, he'd break his tailbone.
He had just bought his GT. He had just had it for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and he would it is seriously for everyone to be out there.
He was at Dirstsurferz riding. We were teaching him to ride, and he was like, I just wanted to come be with a bunch of one-wheelers, and so he was there. And so we need to probably make sure we are waving that flag more. Sign up for Dirstsurferz to come enjoy a weekend and watch what other people can do on one wheels, which will inspire you, and everyone will help you get there. People were stopping and helping Joe, this 82-year-old, learn how to one wheel. Now, we were all super nervous. Yeah, you're like, oh my
for
gosh.
him.
Yeah, because
he rode better than I did.
Yeah, I was like, Joe, it'd make me feel better if you'd ride in grass, I think, instead of the pavement, but I understand the problem.
It was great. Please, sign up. You need to be out there. It's so fun.
Go to dirtsurferz.com to do that. Okay. That said, it was good to be back. After last week, we were in Texas. Lil, thanks for being with us today.
Happy to be here.
Lily and I, we didn't really get to talk about our experience very much.
That's
but
coming out soon.
We have videos. We raced.
Yeah, those should be fun.
It was pretty fun. They were wild, gnarly trails. And so it's great to be rooted on by so many people. And people were asking us, are you going to put the red boots on? Maybe, maybe not. You'll have to stay.
I think you'll have to wait and see.
You'll have to wait and see. Okay. I think that's it, everybody. Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Have
everybody.
a wonderful
Bye,
day.
guys. See you next week.
Adios.